Namaskar and good evening. On the dais, Lieutenant General Madhuri Kanitkar, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of MHUS, Dr. Prashant Joshi, Dr. Milind Nikum, Dr. Sanjeev Chaudhary, man behind the event, Dr. Rajendra Bangal, all the dignitaries of the dais, all the faculty members and delegates who have come from across the world, dear friends, at the very outset, I would like to congratulate the organizing committee for organizing this symposium, which is dedicated to the tribal health. I think it's not just important for a country like India, but it is something which is very dear to all those who are active in health space world over, to look into the policy issues of tribal health. And I must tell you that you have chosen the right city to host this symposium. Of course, Dr. Joshi, this is the right place also, but this is the right city because Nagpur is a city which was inhabited by a tribal Gond king, Bakt Buland Shah, 300 years back. And it also symbolizes the great tribal culture, the rich tribal culture which was prevalent in this entire area which was known as Gondwana, or the Dandakaranya erstwhile. And I think that it is very right to hold a symposium to deliberate and contemplate on tribal health in the city of Nagpur. And of course, there cannot be better venue than AIIMS. So I must also congratulate AIIMS for hosting this. And that also gives me a pat on the back because I was the one who chose Nagpur to have AIIMS. I think apart from this symposium, the tribal village which you have created here is also something which actually reflects tribal customs. It also gives us a glimpse of the nutritional tribal food, tribal customs, tribal art, and also introduces us with the traditional tribal healers. I think this is very good because many times and in many countries, the modern science has thought that it will take over the tribal space and will create a very healthy atmosphere for the tribal population. But it could not happen. It is because when we talk about tribal health, we also must understand the tribal customs, the traditions, the tribal way of life. And we must acknowledge that in today's modern world, it may seem that this way of life is a little backward than what we are living, but we have to acknowledge that for thousands of years, this way of life has been existing, and for hundreds of years it has flourished. And when we see world over, many civilizations are extinct. They are just part of history. The tribal civilization is still there. The tribal culture is still prevailing. It's still alive. And that is why when we think of providing health solutions, we must take into account these traditions, these customs, and of course, these tribal healers who are the first responders when it comes to many types of ailments. Only the confluence of modern medicine and the age-old practices can create an environment where we will be able to provide proper health care to our tribal population. And I think when you called the tribal healers here, that shows that you want to create this synergy, you are trying to create this synergy, and I think that is the most important thing which we need to do. Today we know that there are many health issues prevailing in the tribal area. Most of the issues are related to malnourishment. A malnourished mother gives birth to a malnourished child, and everything starts. We know that anemia is more prevalent in Indian women. But when it comes to the tribal women, around 65% of the tribal women are extremely anemic. And I think these are certain things on which we need to work. I think the policies of government have been aligned with all these problems. And I am happy that in every survey, National Family Health Survey, we see improved indicators, but still there is a huge gap. Still, the indicators which we find in non-tribal population and those we find in the tribal population, there is a huge gap. But having said that, so far as malnourishment is concerned, for providing nutrition, now many schemes have been rolled out by the government, and those schemes have actually shown the results. We can see a lot of improvements in states like Maharashtra. We can see that the child mortality rate, mother's mortality rate, they have significantly gone down. But I think if we can actually create a synergy in providing nutrition to all these mothers and the children using old tribal customs wherein lot of nutritional food was available and it had nutritional value to actually help the newborn mother, the child. I think due to certain customs, due to certain prevailing conditions, this age-old knowledge is not properly passed. And I think if we can have somebody working towards that, a group of people can work towards that and find out solutions in nutrition from the local produce, from the local products, it will be easier for us to provide nourishment to the tribal population. I think if we look at various problems, especially the sickle cell is a disease which is most prevalent amongst our tribal population. I'm happy that AIMS has started a center of excellence in sickle cell. Our Honorable Prime Minister has started a movement to make India sickle cell free. We have started genome sequencing in this area, and I'm sure that the Center of Excellence and people who are working in this arena will find out new solutions to stop and eradicate this disease, which is not only killing our tribal population, but I think its treatment is also very costly, unaffordable, and I'm sure that will make it affordable and accessible because of this Center of Excellence and because of such brainstorming symposiums which would bring out solutions into such problems. I think there are many issues. Some issues are very minor. They look minor, but they are bigger. There are many tribal districts where people die because of malaria. And we are trying to fight with malaria in district like Gadchiroli, where simple intervention of providing bed nets have allowed us to keep away people from having malaria. I'm very happy that now we are rolling out a program with a cost of 25 crore, where Gates Foundation, ICMR and Sun Pharma Foundation have come together to fight with the disease of malaria and to make these districts, and especially in Maharashtra, the district like Gadchiroli, malaria free. I think now is a time where all of us know what is detrimental to the tribal health. We know the causes, we know the effects, we know the solutions, but we need to connect those solutions to the tribal population. All of us know that most of the tribal population is living in far-flung areas, in difficult areas. There are livelihood problems. For livelihood, they are traveling for at least 4 to 5 months. So I think this entire issue is connected issue. It is not just health issue. It is an issue which is multidimensional. If you look at it from only health perspective, you will fail somewhere. It has to be looked at in a multidimensional way, where the customs, the traditions, the livelihood, and of course, the health, everything needs to be looked at simultaneously. And I think that's where a policy framework is needed to be created. I'm sure that with such deliberations, we get good inputs to create a policy. And I was not present here for the entire symposium, but I'm sure that those papers which have been presented here, those thoughts which were put together towards improving the tribal health must have been put together, and the organizing committee will come out with a composite paper on all these deliberations. And I'm sure that the next step will be the formulation of policy, since MHUS is a public university, AIMS is also a public institution. I would like to offer all the support from other departments of the government towards creating a comprehensive policy towards tribal health. Let us decide that the outcome of this symposium is creation of a comprehensive policy which is not only useful to the state of Maharashtra or to the country like India, but it also is followed by other countries as well who are participating. And I'm sure together we can change the scenario of tribal health. And I must thank you for organizing this first International Tribal Health Symposium. As all of us know, this is the beginning, and I'm sure that this beginning will lead to something that will make a real change. Congratulations and thank you for having me here. Jai Hind.